Hello guys, Mr. Fluffy Pants here. Today guys, another video, and today guys we're reviewing Poltergeist from 1982 for, Halloween this year, and, this is definitely one of my all-time favorite, haunted house movies. It's definitely up there with, the original Amityville and also, the original Conjuring film, and this is just, all-time classic, 80s horror movie, and, this was PG back in the day, and we'll get to, some really, questionable stuff for a PG rating later, but this was released in 1982 and was directed by Toby Hooper, and I think it was produced and written by Steven Spielberg, even though there's some rumors out there that he pretty much secretly directed this, and they just gave it over to Toby Hooper or whatnot, because I think he was working on E.T. during the filming of this, but I think some people on set said he was behind the camera a lot more than, he wants to admit, but which makes sense, because this totally feels like a Amblin, Steven Spielberg kind of film, but, and this is also known as the movie that actually used real dead bodies, because apparently they were cheaper than realistic-looking fake bodies, so, those were, those real bodies were mostly using the kind of third act, with all the coffins popping up, and I think they were actually used in when she was, fell into the pool scene, the big pit in the ground where the pool's going to go. I'm pretty sure those are where they're supposedly used at, but that was never confirmed, but, pretty much Poltergeist is about this, family. They are affected by, a poltergeist, because pretty much this, housing development, which the father works for, was built on top of a graveyard, and supposedly they moved the graves or whatnot, but, they just moved the headstones and they left the bodies there because, cheaper, but, so pretty much, they start getting affected by a poltergeist, and let's just say, the ghost kidnap, their daughter or whatnot, so they have to try to get her back, but, the first act, let me just say, this movie's really enjoyable. All the characters are, wonderful to, watch. They're just so much fun to watch, especially, the parents, you can definitely tell, that seems like a really, real-life relationship, which I can always appreciate in a movie. The kids are great in this movie, especially the little girl. She is such a good actor for her age, but, she gets off the creepy and the cute at the same time, which I guess is always cool, and, there's that classic catchphrase, they're here, pretty much the whole first act is, them discovering all this, that they're starting to get haunted by this poltergeist, and, let me just say, that tree outside that boy's room is, holy crap, terrifying, especially whenever it grabs him, and then, the closet sucks in the daughter or whatnot, and then, pretty much the whole middle part of the movie is, they get, the investigators over, and, they're investigating, and, some of those scenes are just, really cool, even though it does drag a little bit, I will say, but, I like how, he's talking about his, the one investigator's talking about his prize find, how, he time-lapsed a car rolling, 6 feet over, 8 hours, and then, the dad just opens up the room, there's, stuff flying everywhere, and, he's just nonchalant about it, which is kind of cool, and you could tell that they probably were dealing with that for a good little while. But, they bring in, the psychic and all that. Well, first of all, they have, their film crew cameras up or whatever. They capture all those spirits coming down the steps on this, with the lights or what, with all the glowing lights, which, that's just a classic scene right there. That's just, beautifully shot and just in awe in that scene. But then you got, scenes where the guy, one of the investigators goes to the bathroom and imagines him literally peeling his face off, or the flesh off of his skull, which, holy crap, this was PG back in the day, remember that, so, always fun, and then, you got stuff like, the dead bodies at the end, which is, some of them were actually real, so, and, then, they bring in the psychic, which, is trying to help them get their daughter back, and pretty much, I say this movie really has two climaxes, whatever you think the first climax is, you are not prepared, because there's literally a whole second climax, because then the movie starts calming down, and then it just jumps right back up to 100 again, which is a little bit weird, but I kind of do enjoy it, I will say, because, after, they send in the closet that, the wife with the rope down to get the daughter, and, the exit point or whatever, and then, they get her back, and then there's that holy crap scary-ass looking face that comes out of the closet, which is pretty much the evil or whatnot. They rescued the daughter, and then, they're moving out or whatnot. Yay, movie's over. But then, nope, it goes 0 to 100 real quick, the wife, tumbling all over, getting dragged up into the ceiling or whatnot, the closet's trying to suck back in the kids, the scary-ass clown dolls attacking them, And then, the husband gets home, and oh yeah, there's also that stretching hallway, which is, pretty well done effect. And then, she's outside, falls into where the hole in the ground where the pool's gonna go, and that's supposedly where the real dead bodies are. But those are terrifying, and then the coffin's just popping in and out, or out of the ground, opening up. Like, that is, terrifying, and I absolutely love that. That is probably, that's my favorite part of the movie. I love at the end of haunted house movies where shit hits the fan, like in Amityville, blood leaking everywhere or whatnot. This one's got coffins with the bodies just popping up everywhere, which the dad confronts his boss with, like, you only moved the gravestones, you didn't move the bodies, which is a dick thing to do, but that's the whole reason for their predicament, for say. And then they escape, go to the Holiday Inn, but we see their house literally implode on itself because it gets sucked into like a vortex or whatnot, which yeah, but this movie, also one thing I had to knock on the movie is some of the effects don't look the best, but it kind of gives that 80s vibe, which so if you look at it like that, then they're not too bad, I guess. It kind of just adds character to the movie, but overall though, this movie's got some, is really great. I love the practical effects in the movie. Some of the ghost designs and demons or whatnot are really, really, really cool. Especially the one that's outside the door when the wife's trying to get the kids in the third act or whatnot. And like I said, the coffins popping out of the ground with the bodies or whatnot is just so cool and so classic. And yeah, this movie is just honestly such a classic. And I suggest if you haven't watched it, go watch it on Netflix, because it is currently on there. And like I said, classic horror movies, a classic 80s movie, classic Spielberg, just everything you have to love about a horror movie, especially from the 80s. Overall there, I'm going to give this movie probably about a 9.3 out of 10. It does get kind of slow in some parts, and that's really the only knock I have on the movie. And also the kind of weirdness of it having pretty much 2 climaxes, but overall though, like I said, pretty good movie. I would give this a 9.3 out of 10. But anyway, guys, check out some other October reviews for this month. Subscribe and like and subscribe for more of my Halloween reviews and at least some of my Halloween specials. But check out my Twitter and Discord link in the description. Like and subscribe for more. Check out some other videos, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.